So of course, as you guys see by the title, in this video, I'm going to be going over the exact blueprint that you guys need to be following, that I follow in order for me to hit 5-figure months with organic dropshipping. I'm literally already over at $8,000 revenue today. I'm easily on track to doing 5 figures just this current month alone. So it's not only a proven blueprint that I use, but it's also a proven blueprint that all of my students use as well. It took one of my students, Trey, to $4,900 in a single day. It took my student Travis to $7,300 in a single day. My student Jaden to 1.8 grand in just 6 days. And my student Anthony, $7,000 in just 7 days as well. I mean, I could keep going all day long. You guys have seen the results I've been able to get for myself and also my students, and I'm literally breaking down to you guys the full entire strategy for completely free on how you guys can exactly go from $0 to $10,000 every single month. Of course, it's easier said than done. You guys actually need to put the work in, and you guys actually need to dedicate every little bit of your time into organic dropshipping if you guys do actually want to see results. This is not a get rich quick money scheme, so if you guys think you can make anything over $1,000 your first month, you're wrong. You guys will need experience. So of course, it's gonna take time, and you guys have to practice every single thing that I teach throughout this video on months straight until you guys can actually have enough experience by following this blueprint, and you guys will eventually be able to see those results. Like I said, don't think this is some get rich quick money scheme. There is literally no online business out there that you guys can actually make money quick with. But if you guys already do have some experience with organic dropshipping, maybe you guys been doing it for a couple months, you guys should pretty much be able to see results very soon. So if you guys have yet to hit over $10,000 in a single month, you guys need to really take notes, watch this video entirely through, and do not skip out on any of the information that I will be going over. Take the blueprint, study it, practice it, apply it, and you guys will make money. So without any more yapping, we're going to get straight into exactly what the entire testing phase is all about, how you're going to go about it, and how you guys will exactly execute it. So the very first thing that I'm going to go over with you guys is something called the 2-week period. And this is very important and something you guys really need to understand, because this is pretty much the entire part of the testing phase. So once you guys actually find your products, you guys will warm up your account for 5 days. Obviously, warming up your account would mean you're targeting your audience by engaging with other videos. So your For You page is optimized with the audience that you actually want to be targeting. So once you guys do post, you will actually be able to target the people that, you actually want to sell your product towards. So whatever your niche is in, if it's in the dog niche, obviously warm it up to dog owners. Or if it's in the fitness niche, warm it up to gym bros. You guys should get the memo if you guys don't know how to optimize an account. So like I said, you're going to do this for 5 days, 30 minutes to 1 hour every single day until you guys get to the 6th day, where you guys will make your first initial post, and then that is where the 2-week testing phase comes into play. So for every single day for 14 days straight, you guys will post 2 quality uploads a day. I see so many people thinking they could just go even more viral or something in that sense if they continuously post more, but that is not the case. Your quality really does matter. So put time into your videos when you guys are recording it, editing it, coming up with ideas for it, and you guys will see much better results, of course, rather than if you just spam upload a bunch of videos that look like garbage. So like I said, you're going to upload 2 videos every single day for 14 days straight, and by the end of the 14 days, if you get a video with 50,000 plus views, then you will create the store for your product, since you now have that proof of concept that your videos and your product is actually able to get views. So you will know that you guys can actually continue getting views going forward. And if your videos can't hit over that 50K view mark, drop the product. Do not get emotionally engaged to the product. And I will kind of go a little deeper into this in the video. Do not get emotionally engaged with the product. If your video can't get over 50,000 views by the end of the 2-week period, stop posting. And that applies for Instagram and also TikTok as well. Post on both platforms, because those are the 2 highest converting platforms. Do not worry about posting on YouTube Shorts. It literally converts like trash. So you guys should be posting 4 videos every single day for 14 days straight. And like I said, follow that 2-week period method on if you get a video with 50K plus views. And if you don't get a video with 50K plus views, then obviously you guys should know what you guys should be doing now. And testing products should be 1,000 times easier. And something that I like to do as well, just for my peace of mind personally, is just warming up my account and optimizing it, making it an active account still by just engaging with the same type of videos I warmed up my account initially to, just for 5 minutes a day, maybe not even 5 minutes, just a couple minutes, just so, the platforms such as Instagram and TikTok still see that I'm an active user and that I'm not a bot. Me personally, I kind of noticed better results with it. Maybe it was just my subconscious, but honestly, I like to do it anyways. 2 minutes out of my day, it's not that big of a deal. And of course, as you guys are in that testing phase during those 2 weeks that I mentioned, this is where you will also be testing as many video concepts as possible. See what works for your competitors, test it out. If it works for you, then it works for you. If it doesn't work for you, continuously to test other video concepts and figure out one structure for a video that does work, whether if that's the hook, the backgrounds. You guys should know what you guys should be looking for, especially when you guys are coming up with that viral framework so you guys can replicate those videos ongoing forward to the scaling process. And like I said, during this 2-week period, you guys will just be coming up with a bunch of proven concepts that actually work. So like I said, when you guys get to the scaling process, you guys can now replicate all those videos, spam them out, and you guys can actually continuously go viral. So now, like I said, if you get a video with 50,000 plus views throughout this testing process, now we can move forward onto the scaling process. And the scaling process is super easy. You're going to just spam out the same type of videos over and over and over, and you guys will have a proven viral framework that actually works for your product. Because like I said, during the testing phase, you guys will be testing out a bunch of different concepts and slowly figuring out maybe 1 idea works, 2 ideas work, 5 ideas work going forward, so you guys can have the smoothest process possible when you guys are going viral. And going back into the story creation side of things like I was talking about, and just to mention one more time before you guys even get to testing your product for all the new beginners, because I don't think I mentioned it, please do not create a Shopify store at all until your video goes somewhat viral with the 50,000 plus views. If you guys make your store before you guys even start running your product on TikTok or Instagram, you guys are just wasting time. Remember, the whole point of organic dropshipping is to go viral and then to sell your product. It's not to sell your products and then go viral, because you're just ultimately wasting time. And the scaling process is also going to be a slight combination mix of the testing phase as well, because you guys will still continuously be testing out new concepts and figuring out what exactly works. Because obviously, you guys can only reuse the same exact concept over and over and over so many times until it starts to kind of die out. So this is when you guys will need to test new concepts, and then of course, once you guys do find that new concept, you're going to replicate those videos over and over and over, and you guys should be able to go viral for months on months straight. I see so many people, they stop going viral after like 1 to 2 months, is because they don't understand that you need to constantly test out new video concepts and not just copy out, what maybe your competitor went viral with. So there's always going to be that new idea. You guys literally just need to be creative as possible with it, and you guys will eventually be able to figure it out. And during this entire scaling phase, if you guys have the time and if you guys really want to make a lot of money and go even more viral, you're not just going to have 2 videos every single day being uploaded. You guys will now want to up it to 3 videos a day. And now this is where the scaling part kind of, comes into play. You're scaling the amount of content that you guys put out as well. Keep the quality the exact same, if not, always try to improve over time. But instead of posting 2 videos a day, you guys will now want to be posting 3 videos a day. So 6 videos total across all platforms. And please, guys, when you guys are uploading onto TikTok, when you export the video from CapCut, create 2 different exports, right? So one export is going to be with the text, and this is what you're going to upload over to Instagram. And then another export is going to be without the text, and that is going to be for TikTok. So when you guys upload on TikTok, individually add the text on TikTok. Do not upload it straight from CapCut to TikTok with the text already on it. I promise you guys, your video will literally get stuck at maybe 100 views, 50 views, 300 views. It will be a very low amount of views, and this may be holding you back. Maybe you guys do have this issue already. Maybe you guys do that, and you guys realize, oh, maybe my videos aren't going viral just because the product is bad. No, it's just because of the way that you guys are doing things. So just keep that in mind. And then also as well, when you guys are uploading on TikTok, use a new clip every single time. You guys can't reuse old clips or old videos. Instagram doesn't matter too much, but TikTok, they prioritize original content. And if your content is not original, if you guys have already uploaded it in the past, they will not boost your video out onto the For You page. Therefore, your video will not go viral. So please create new content every single time. So like I said, when you guys are maybe even recording your product, go on your camera roll, create separate albums, maybe video 1, video 2, video 3, and have your clips separated inside of there, just so you guys don't get confused when you guys are actually editing your content. So this is obviously going to make it more of an organized process, and so you guys don't, come up with an accidental mistake of, you maybe reusing the same clip. So please do this. Very simple. You guys should understand that by now. TikTok detects the metadata. You don't want the metadata to be detected because obviously your content will get flagged for not being original content. And now this is a bigger scaling process I'm going to get into, which is if you guys can handle the work, please go ahead and do this because this will be the most beneficial thing for you guys. And that is going to be creating extra accounts on top of the accounts that you guys currently have that are going viral. And now the way that you're going to create these accounts, you're not going to create them the same exact way as the other accounts where you guys, maybe optimized it towards the same niche, optimize it towards a different audience. So now when you guys are uploading your videos, you have the one audience you're already going viral in, and then your next goal with the other account is going viral within that audience as well. And now, of course, this isn't going to work for every single product that you guys run, but a majority of the products that you guys run, you may be able to target more than one audience. But with it being double the amount of work, you guys will see double the amount of results, especially if you guys are able to go viral in the other audience. So in this process, like I said, you guys need to upload original content if you guys are, maybe creating a new TikTok account. So just make sure you guys keep every single thing in a separated album. Maybe do it on a different phone if you guys are really up onto that scaling process where you guys have multiple phones. So you guys are not only going viral with 2 accounts, but you guys are now maybe potentially able to go viral with 4 accounts. So let's say this for an example, right? One audience is 1 million people. And keep in mind, this is an example. Obviously, there's going to be way more people than 1 million people. And then the other audience that you guys are targeting is another 1 million people. Would you guys rather go viral with only 1 million people or go viral with 2 million people combined total, right? So obviously, you guys will see much better results. No, it may not be as high of a converting product once you guys run it over to the second audience, because your first audience should be, the highest converting audience as possible. But you guys will be able to get more traffic over to your store, resulting in you guys making more sales, hitting that 5-figure month mark way easier. And now what you guys shouldn't do, which is what I kind of wanted to talk about earlier but didn't go too much in depth about, is do not get emotionally engaged with your products. Just because you guys seeing someone else go viral with the product does not necessarily mean you guys can go viral as well. It is all based on so many different factors on why maybe they did better than you. It could be their experience level, such as them filming the product better than you, them understanding how to target a better audience than you. And of course, if you guys want to try to skip that entire process and have one less factor to go through, which is obviously going to be they had more experience than you, go ahead, find a mentor, try to seek as much guidance as possible, and just sync up all the information that they know so you guys can be on a much higher experience level without going too much into the actual business itself. You guys will, of course, be saving a lot of time if you guys get a mentor, and you guys know what you should actually be doing if you guys really do want to film viral content, especially with the correct products, because a lot of people sell the wrong products. They think you could just sell anything. Obviously, that's not the case. If you guys don't know what exact products you should be selling, I have a ton of other videos as well on my channel, so make sure you guys go check that out. But they could be doing better than you because their experience levels are way better. And it also could be other simple things as well, like them warming up their account towards a different audience. Maybe you targeted a different audience than they did. Their audience is converting way better. They're getting way more views rather than you. On the other hand, you're not able to do the same exact things. And then also the time around that you guys do find the product is a very important factor. And this is what I call the 2-month period as well. If the product has been ran for over 2 months, I recommend do not sell it if you guys really want to have that winning product. If it has been ran over for 60 days, do not sell it. I'll say it once again. Now, am I saying you can't make money with a product that's been ran for over 2 months? No, you guys could probably make a couple $1,000s. You guys could probably make a few $1,000s. But if you guys really do want to have that product where you're hitting $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 every single month for, a couple consecutive months straight, of course, that can't be a product that has been ran frequently and that has so many other competitors. Because obviously, the more amount of competitors, the more that the market is being milked out, which is obviously going to stop you guys from actually hitting those big 5-figure month marks. So like I said, just do not get emotionally engaged with the product that you guys are running. If it is not able to hit 50,000 views by the end of the 2-week period, please stop running it. Move on to the next product. take your information and, you know, your knowledge that you gained from running that current product and apply it into the next product. Learn from the mistakes that you made, review your content, see why, oh, maybe your content didn't do good for this reason, maybe for that reason. There's so many different things that you guys can kind of tie down into and look in on your account on maybe why it didn't perform well. And you guys could apply those things onto the next product. And remember, if your product does not blow up, don't take it as a loss. Don't be like, oh, I lost out on this product. You know, I couldn't make money with this. Take it as a lesson for you guys to have a more knowledgeable experience about how you guys should really be blowing up your next product. And now that you guys know exactly how you are going to test and scale your product, once you guys do actually come down to the content creation side of things, now let's get into converting the customer on the back end, which is obviously going to be the website, because, you know, if your website is not on point, then clearly that could be the one difference thing that will stop you from making 5 figures a month, because obviously we want the customer to trust us as much as possible. We want them to actually check out once they go onto our landing page. And that will truly be the difference on why you guys may be stuck at $4,000 a month, $5,000 a month, but yet are able to hit that $10,000 a month mark. Your conversion rate matters so much, so please watch every single thing through this entire segment of the video, because obviously you guys will have a much better understanding on how to make a trustworthy website. So of course, when you guys are getting into the store creation side of things, you guys will not want to use any of Shopify's free themes. Now, I'm not necessarily saying they're bad, but the main thing that you guys really want to be using is something called Debutify. And now, of course, this is just an example store, but I'll kind of just walk through you with everything right here on, you know, why exactly Debutify is so good. So obviously, you know, this is how the mobile view looks. And then especially, you know, it's going to be optimized on the desktop as well, especially for, you know, people that do go on desktop, people that also do go on mobile, because, you know, you're going to have that mix sometimes. Even though 90% majority of traffic is coming from mobile, you know, you still, of course, want to have the desktop version optimized. And obviously, this is something that will make your website look way more optimized. Obviously, you know, reviews would go right under here, what our customers say. But this is the exact, you know, look that you guys actually want to have your website. And I mean, you guys could also see it with the mobile view as well. Let me just click on hide this. Obviously, ignore the little honey extension. We could just hide that. But, you know, this is how it looks. Everything looks super professional. And of course, you know, that conversion rate is obviously going to be way higher if you use something like Debutify compared to, you know, if you just use one of the simple Shopify themes. There's a free trial with Debutify. You guys don't have to pay anything. And of course, you know, if you guys do want to actually upgrade into, you know, the paid version, that is something that I would do, especially, you know, maybe even once you guys do actually start making money with your product, because now you got that proof of concept, you know, that you're actually even able to get the sales, then, you know, it would be the perfect time to, you know, invest a little bit of that money back into something that's actually going to be worth it to help you make more money, right? Because of course, that's the whole point of any investment. And as you guys see right here, there are 72 paid widgets with Debutify. They have a bunch of AI cart maximizers, add a cart button animations. You know, they have pretty much every app that you guys would need, where you guys would need to pay extra, all inside of the theme itself. Everything's all custom coded. And obviously, you know, this is something that I use myself, and there is a huge difference on when you guys actually use a store builder, kind of like Debutify. But I doubt, you know, you guys want to overpay for, you know, other store builders. A lot of them cost so much money. Plus, they don't have as many benefits as Debutify, which is clearly why I use them. Of course, I could use something else, but this is what I have noticed that seeks me the best results. If you guys are getting something like under a 1% conversion rate, obviously your store is going to be the big issue. It's not necessarily always going to be your product. So if you guys get something like Debutify or something else, you know, then obviously then the goal would be to bump up your conversion rate to a 2 to 3%, which is, you know, pretty good for organic, especially anything above a 3%. You pretty much, you know, have the highest converting stores. Now, if you're getting something under 1%, obviously, you need to work on your store. It is not always going to be your products. Like I said, your store is the biggest key point on, you know, you actually going from that 4-figure month all the way up to that 5-figure month. So just always remember that your store must look trustworthy. And obviously, to make it look trustworthy as possible, you have to put simple things like this. You know, you need to have all the benefits right here. Obviously, you know, this is something implemented inside of the theme builder itself. So it's not like I have to install some other apps. On top of the FAQ, you guys always want to make sure that all of your customers' objections are always handled prior towards the purchase. And this doesn't just go, towards drop shipping, doesn't go just towards website development. It's, common sense in sales. If you guys even do something like sales yourself, you guys will understand that, you want to handle the customer's objections before you actually try to sell them on the products, because if they have one little thing inside of their head where it's maybe a question stopping them from, actually making that purchase, of course, they're not going to end up making the purchase. And you're going to have that one customer that could have been a buyer if you guys would have actually, put the objections in here. So, these are simple objections right here, for something like this product. This was going viral on TikTok and, Instagram, probably no more than a couple months ago. And of course, there's questions like this. Are fizz cap lids spill proof? You want to make sure all these customers' objections are handled. Can I put my fizz cap lid in the dishwasher? That's going to be a very important one, because obviously people are going to want to wash the product. And you want to make sure, you always handle, regardless of what the product is how long, shipping takes. So of course, you guys do want to have a good supplier as well. You guys can kind of figure that out yourself. There's a lot of suppliers to choose from. Just make sure they are actually trustworthy. And of course, once you guys do actually start scaling your product to, 20, 30, 40 orders a day, that is, going to be the perfect time to actually get a private supplier so you guys get the best rates on your product. You guys don't want to use something like CJ Dropshipping, ZenDrop, AutoDS. Don't use any of those, especially, once you guys are scaling your store, because you guys will be losing out on a lot of money that can be kept in your product if you guys were to just, get something like a private supplier. And like I said, you guys have to be getting a lot of orders in daily. The private supplier will not want to work with you if you guys are getting something like 1 to 2 orders a day. Anything under 20 orders a day, they will typically not work with you. Maybe if you guys are getting 10 to 15 orders a day and, you guys been doing that consistently, of course, then there could be a possibility that they're going to want to work with you. So just keep that in mind, once you guys are actually scaling your product as well. And, going back to the website thing, you want to always make sure that your product page is set up properly, because this is the one thing that people will look at the first. They're not going to look at the homepage necessarily 100% of the time, but when you have your link in the bio, it should be directed straight towards the product page. And this is exactly, what they're going to be seeing. You want to see the benefits, always secure. You want to have more benefits right here. Eco-friendly, spill resistant, preserves carbonation. More benefits right here, that maybe could, be one of their problems. This is going to be one of their pain points. Always dealing with sticky spills from your drinks. That's a huge pain point. Have a pain point for your product, and you guys will be able to sell them. And then, you obviously want these contrast type of photos right here, from this to this. It's just going to make the website and, your entire product and your entire brand look 1,000 times more trustworthy. So, the customer actually completes and buys your product. And always have your brand name, kind of just out there constantly all throughout the website. You guys could see fizz cap right here, more fizz cap right there, fizz cap, fizz cap everywhere. You guys want to make sure that your brand name is, everywhere on the website, because you want it to be a constant reminder that your product is whatever the name is, right? In this case, obviously it's fizz cap. You want everybody to know that comes to your website that this product is called fizz cap, and it's going to be a constant reminder inside of their head, and it's kind of going to stick with them subconsciously. It's going to keep them reminded that this is a brand, this is not a scam. And of course, if your website looks like a scam, nobody is going to buy your product. I'm sorry, nobody is going to buy your product at all. It has to look professional as possible, and it has to look like a legitimate brand, that has a warehouse in the US, etc. You guys get the memo of exactly what I'm talking about. But back to the main things about Day Beautify. Let's just go over some of the benefits, because of course, I want to make sure that you guys are actually able to hit those 5-figure months. And I promise you guys could go ahead and try it. You guys could use the free themes. You guys will not hit that 5-figure a month mark if your store does not have the highest potential to actually have, high 3%, 4% CVRs. So once you guys do get inside of daybeautify.com, obviously the links will be down in the description below, and I'll also link it inside of the comments so you guys can easily see that. Just head over down here to the template library, click on all templates. And then, of course, you guys could see all the templates that you guys could use. Default beta, which is a new version that is coming out. Obviously, it's not out yet since it is a beta, so always just go with the default. But, just do whatever your product makes the most sense around. Obviously, if it's a baby and kids product, then maybe it would be the best decision to, go with this one, right? Just so everything's kind of customly there. But, I like to do everything, from scratch. So that's why I always go with the default theme. And literally all you guys have to do once you guys sign up for Debutify for free, once you get to the theme section and then click on download theme, it's going to create a .zip file. And then all you guys literally need to do is click on add theme back in Shopify and then click on upload zip file, drag and drop the file. Boom. You guys literally have Debutify installed, and it's already going to be linked, through your Shopify store once you guys do sign up. And if you guys have been dropshipping for a while now, you definitely know what Debutify is. You guys have probably used it yourself. For all my experienced people out there that have been in the game for, 3 to 4 years now, obviously this has been around for a while, and it has only gotten better and better as they improved and, added more things inside of, their actual software. And of course, if you guys go over to widgets right here, click on all widgets, you guys can enable, everything that you guys do want on your website, and it will kind of be uploaded towards there. So, if you want a cart discount, of course, enable it. Color swatches, enable it. There's hundreds of things to actually enable. You guys can kind of see every single thing that there is. Page speed booster, obviously you guys know that would be an app. Add to cart animation is also an app as well. Cart reminder, these are all separate apps that you guys would have to get if it wasn't for Debutify. And since it is already inside of here, clearly you guys don't have to go do the extra hassle of downloading an extra app. Everything's all in here. Sticky header, you guys get the memo. Obviously, I'm not going to talk about this if it is not something good to use. If you guys really want to increase that CVR, of course, you guys need to be using Debutify. And let's just go back to the website part right now. Always make sure that it is 3 colors. This is going to be called the 3-color rule. There's not really a rule, but obviously I'm going to call it a rule. I'm going to make it sound a little cool. Always have your colors be white, black, and then the third color is going to be, the color that, makes the most sense to be surrounded by your product. Obviously, in this sense, I thought this baby blue would look the best. So obviously, that's why I made the logo blue. The other little part of the logo black. Your logo should just be, the text. It shouldn't be anything too crazy. You guys don't have to worry about any fancy logos. Just make sure, it looks nice. Obviously, something like this looks nice. Put like a little fizz logo in the corner. Doesn't have to be anything too crazy. And that's pretty much just going to be the whole entire concept of your website. It's going to have those types of colors. So, blue, black, white, it's spreaded all across the website. It's down here, with the links colors, the subscribe button. And of course, I'm going to get into email marketing, at the end of the video. So make sure you guys stick around for that. You guys have been asking for it forever. So I'm going to go into the exact things I do, so you guys can make an extra $1,000. Easy, I promise you, easy extra $1,000 if you guys have email marketing, automated, especially if you guys are hitting $10,000 months, then $1,000 extra, making it $11,000. Who wouldn't want that? So obviously I'm going to show you guys how to set it up. It's a super easy process. But before we get into that, I kind of just want to break down, the whole structure of your website. It should only have home, contact us, get your fizz cap, and then track your order. Obviously have the track your order app. Debutify already has one in there. But of course, if you guys are using the free one, you guys won't be able to get all the widgets. So of course, the easiest thing is to just download the app. Unless if you guys, want to pay up. Obviously, that's going to be the best decision, especially when it comes down to, you guys actually getting that highest converting store possible. And then, your homepage is going to be a simplified version of your product page. So I'm sure if you guys take a small look, you guys can kind of see some things on the products page are also on the homepage. But of course, everything's not going to be on here. You kind of want this to just be, a secondary page. If they do go outside of the product page, then, they could be on the home page. And, obviously you're going to want something like this. This is called a rich text. Add a button underneath here. And, always have an excitement, with your CTAs. So your CTAs would be something like click here. You're not going to want to have, view. That's the normal that I see a lot of people do. There's no excitement with, just a button that says view. There's way more excitement, and, it's going to encourage the buyer to kind of, get that purchase out of there, if that makes sense. So obviously, something like get your fizz cap here, exclamation mark, that's going to create that excitement for them to actually want to buy your products, right? So kind of just use normal psychology whenever it comes down to, you actually getting the ideas for your CTAs. It's super important. And then also when it comes down to your offer as well, make sure you guys have a strong offer. And obviously in this case, the fizz cap, the product cost, I believe it was like $197 or something in that realm, under $2 for 2 of them, since the seller actually only shipped 2 out. So obviously the offer that made the most sense would be something like buy one get one free, since they're technically already going to get 2. So, you know, something like this, we're selling it for $10. We ship the product out, you know, with the cost of goods as well for $2. We have 80% profit margins. Do that 100 times, you know, you're at $1,000 plus. And not only that, you guys may see that, you know, a lot of products that you guys do sell as well, it's going to be low margins like this, not necessarily low margins, but low total revenue. So obviously making $10 every single sale won't be the most optimal thing to do if you guys do actually want to hit those 10K month marks. But I promise you, we can make this $10 sale go all the way up to a $30 sale easy with something called upsells. And if you guys are not familiar with upsells, I'm going to get into them. You guys are going to want to have a post-purchase upsell, an in-car upsell, and also another upsell when it comes down to the shipping part of things, whenever they are actually checking out. Because of course, you know, having an extra $15 of pure profit added on to this $10 order, making it $25, it's going to make a huge difference, especially, you know, every maybe 5 or so people, you know, go from the $10 order to a $20 plus order. So it's kind of going to create a illusion that you're actually getting another order, but in reality, people just added on more. Digital products, of course, you know, it's going to be 100% profit margins, especially when it's things like, you know, express shipping, which isn't actually going to be express. You're just going to process the order a little quicker, and other things, you know, like skip the line shipping. That's a digital product. There's no such thing as skip the line shipping. It's just an illusion inside of the customer's head that they're actually skipping the line. But in reality, their order just gets shipped around the same time that they actually purchase the product, which will exclude the processing days. And so now when it comes down for the post-purchase upsells, you guys will want to download an app called Aftersell, and it's going to be right in here. So once you guys do get loaded on the app, just click on funnels, and then you guys could, you know, create a new funnel. Obviously, I'm going to show you the funnel that I already created for you guys, so you guys could pretty much just copy and paste it. We're going to click on edit funnel right here. And of course, you know, this is going to be the 24-hour processing, which is going to be called skip the line shipping. So you guys simply just have to, you know, go over to your products right here, create a new product, mark it as a digital product, so they don't have to actually enter any shipping information. And, you know, here's going to be the offer, right? So once they click on it, after they complete their order, this is what they will get. They're not going to have to enter any more, you know, credit card information. All they have to do is just click on pay now. And then, you know, the $5 extra is added onto your order. So you guys could literally just copy this. So I could zoom in on this. You guys take a screenshot. It should be pretty high quality still. It doesn't matter too much because, you know, most of the times they're going to be on the mobile view. As long as it looks clear, you guys could use it, or you guys could use something else. It's totally up to you. But this is pretty much just going to be $5 extra inside of your pocket, since they are adding, you know, skip the line shipping. And then, you know, just make sure you guys put this right here. Pretty sure everything should already be on here. You know, you guys could change all these things. You guys could put the discount. Of course, you guys only wanted to say shipping free, pay now, and then of course, you know, the cost of the skip the line shipping. And, you know, as we go back down into the other upsells, this will be upsell number 1. And now if they accept the upsell, right, let's say they get this, they're going to get this next upsell. If they decline that upsell, they're going to get this downsell right here, I mean. So of course, you know, either one of these, if they accept it or if they decline it, it's just going to be the product that they bought again. So obviously in this case, it is going to be the fizz cap. So let me just show you guys how to add it in real quick. Change product, specific product. It's just going to be this right here, right? This is all it's going to be. It's just going to be the product that, you know, they actually bought. So of course, you know, make this look a little more neater. You guys could put a little discount on it. You guys could, you know, maybe do 20% off, 30% off. It doesn't matter what the case is. You guys could do something like 30% off. Since they did get the buy one, get one free deal, of course, this is just going to be 1. So we can make this something simple as, let's see, $64. Yeah, that would be valid. So we could do 60% off, and, you know, they'll kind of see as they're getting, you know, 1 fizz cap for $4. Or you guys could go a little crazier, you know, do 80% off, or even maybe 70% off. just so you're squeezing out an extra dollar in profit. Of course, it's not much at all, but it will add up. So these are the types of things that you guys do want. Of course, this is a very cheap product, so I can't give you the best explanation, but typically I just take off no more than $5 off the product, especially since most of the orders that I am selling are going to be $30 plus order products. So of course, you're not going to want to, lose on too much profit like this. Obviously, making a $1 profit difference is not really much of a gain. But you guys get the memo. Just make sure that you have your products right here that they bought. Obviously for the downsell too, have the product again, same exact discount. Nothing else is different compared from this one to this one. And then of course you just have to publish the funnel, click on save it next. And then I promise you guys will make so much more money by having upsells and downsells like this. And then going on to the third upsell, we're going to head into settings. Just click on shipping and delivery, and then just click on the shipping rates right here. And then for your shipping rate that you're going to create, it's going to be a flat rate like this, custom shipping rate. And now this is what we're going to name the custom rate name. It's going to be called express shipping plus insured shipping. So we're going to make it look like that. And then we're going to put in parentheses right here, recommended. It's going to be in all lower cases, and it's just going to give that illusion that it's recommended, that a lot of people use it. And then for the price, we're just going to make it an extra $4.97, or we can actually make it $4.99. That's the standard price that you guys want to be using for shipping rates. Always $0.99 for products, typically 95, 97, or 99. It really just depends. But this is exactly what it's going to look like. And this is going to be a secret upsell in itself. Obviously, they're not getting exactly express shipping. Their order is just going to be shipped out a little quicker. And then plus, insured shipping, they're going to get the order 100% of the time, right? So, you guys could kind of just get the memo. That's just free money right there. And then also when it comes to your other shipping rate, it shouldn't be anything fancy. This is what you guys are going to want. You guys literally just want to put free standard shipping. And then obviously, it's going to be free. But, there's a lot of people that just put, standard shipping or just put free shipping. That makes it look a little basic and plain. It's going to kind of just encourage them to actually complete the checkout, that it's free shipping. Of course, if you guys just have free shipping that looks like this, look how basic that looks compared to, that, right? We could both agree that this is very basic. This is a little more exciting. That's going to, encourage them to actually want to complete the purchase, once they're at checkout, because obviously this is pretty much the last option that they get before they actually check out on the product. So there's just a little extra game for you guys on, setting up your shipping zones. And now when it comes down to your email automation, which is going to be very important, like I was saying, if you guys are able to make $10,000, I promise you guys could squeeze an extra $1,000 in revenue out of that, if not 500 bare minimum. So of course, we're going to want that extra money. It would kind of just be stupid to not want to collect that, right? So the main email automation apps are going to be Yapto and then also OmniSend. They're pretty much going to be set up in the same exact way. It's really just what you prefer or what you guys want to go with. Back in the day, I used to use something called Automizely. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with that, but these are the closest things to that can actually make you a lot of money. So you guys could just go on Yapto and then click on install. And then when you guys are actually setting up your account as well, it's pretty much automatically going to be set up, right? So it's just going to be very simple. Obviously, your button color is going to be, the color that you have on your store. So my color was something like this. And then also, for the heading color as well, it's going to be the same exact color that, was on my store. So it's pretty much going to be something like this. And then boom, let me close out of that. Body text color, you want it to be kind of more of like a darker gray like that. You never want it to be black. It's going to come off a little too harsh. Of course, it's just going to be a simple 10% discount. And, also having something like this, when they first go onto the website, they're going to see this right here. Once they get on it, it's going to encourage them to actually check out more. Even if your product is $20 and, they're only getting 10% off their order, obviously, them saving $2 is going to mean a lot to them, because a lot of people don't have a lot of money. But when they are buying your products, they're most likely making a impulse purchase, and they're going to have a higher chance of making that impulse purchase as well if they get, something like 10% off. Even though it's a very slight discount, it is very effective. And all you guys have to do is just click on pop up right here. You're going to collect their email, and then you're also going to be collecting their phone numbers. And when you guys are setting up your SMS flow message, it's going to be very simple. It's not going to be anything too crazy. It's just going to say something like, welcome to the Since my product was obviously called the Fizz Cap, it's going to be called Welcome to the Fizz Cap Family, exclamation mark. And then we're going to click on enter. It should be entered just once. And then use this discount code for 10% off your first order. And then we're just going to add a little extra thing on the bottom, which is just going to say, don't forget there is free shipping. We're actually going to make the free all caps like that. And yeah, that's literally it. It is very simple. And then of course, at the end, just put your website. So, let's say your website is this, www.fizzcap.com. That is literally going to be it. It is a very simple message. And then, also for the email template right here, you guys are just going to want to change this. Obviously, it is very simple. You guys don't really need to add anything too much. Just pretty much have it look exactly the same like this. But of course, the SMS flow is kind of going to be a little more important than an email because, people will obviously see the text message first before they actually see the email. So just click on finish and you guys are pretty much going to be set up, and that is literally it. So of course, if this is something that has helped you guys, I would really appreciate it if you guys go down below, comment something that you guys want to also see in the future as well. And not only that, but like the video, subscribe if you guys are new to my channel, because I drop so much sauce in every single educational video that I have. And if you guys are more interested in my lifestyle and exactly, how organic dropshipping provides me the life that I live, make sure you guys go watch my lifestyle videos as well. You guys should get a better understanding of who exactly I am and what I do in my off time. And if you guys do also want to have the same type of life and learn the same exact skills that I've learned when I first started this entire business back in 2020, almost 5 exact years now, go down below in the description and watch the free training video that I made. And I also did just drop a free course video on my channel. So if you guys have not checked that out yet, make sure you guys go check that out. You guys will find a lot of sauce in there that you guys won't hear anybody telling you for free. But if you guys really want to take it to the next level, the same way that I have, in the same way that my students have that are inside of my one-on-one coaching program, make sure you guys go down in the description below and apply. And of course, if you guys are not going to be serious about getting into organic dropshipping and actually wanting to get to the next level where you guys are consistently hitting the 5-figure month marks, and by consistently, I will guarantee you that I will be able to help you get you there. And if I can't help you get there for whatever reason, I'll literally give your money back, no questions asked. So like I said, if you guys are a serious individual and you're actually trying to take organic dropshipping 100% serious, make sure you guys go down and click the application link below. But of course, watch the free training video first, just so you guys have a better understanding. I will be getting my M4 competition back soon, and I have a very special video coming out for you guys in a few weeks. I'm moving to my penthouse in Miami. I can't wait to show you guys that. But like I said, make sure you guys go watch my other videos, and I'm out.